Do your games look like this? High kills, high final hits, but losses every single time? You feel like your team is holding you back because of your insane performances, and you feel like you can't carry any harder. Well, I'm here to tell you, you actually can carry harder. And it doesn't take crazier mechanics, a better team, or a better PC. All it takes is target priority. And no. I'm not talking about shooting healers instead of tanks. It's a much more advanced concept than that. As a Celestial player, I still even deal with players on my team not understanding these simple concepts. And if you start learning this in lower ranks, your success will skyrocket and your rank will skyrocket as well. And the concept is pretty simple. So let's get started. To begin, let's define target priority. Target priority is the order in which you target players on the enemy team. It's almost like a list of who you want to target the most on their team. For most people, this can just look like whoever is in front of them. Or maybe if you're more advanced, this can look like shooting healers, and then DPS, and then tanks. But that is just a complete surface level. In this video, I'm going to explain to you how to prioritize targets and how this will impact your games and actually help you with your decision making and carrying your team. And this will be done in 3 simple steps. Starting with the first one. The first step to picking who should be at the top of your priority list is deciding who is the biggest threat. We don't necessarily decide this by looking at the leaderboard. We decide this by the impact they are making on our team. If they have a Spider-Man who is constantly diving at our healers and consistently getting picks, we don't want to shoot at their healers or tank. We all want to turn around and shoot the Spider-Man. Why? Because of the impact that he's making on our team. If they have a Strange that is going crazy, we need to target him and find a strategy in order to kill him first. Once we can identify who the biggest threat is to our game, that is one of the simplest ways to create a priority list. Now, a common mistake with this is always putting the healers at the top of the priority list. While healers should be a big priority and do make a very big impact on the game, that's not always the person you want to shoot first. For example, if they have a Bucky on their team who's going 53-7, you might want to target the Bucky instead of the healers. If everyone's shooting at a 275 HP target, he's gonna die. You don't always have to target the healers to get a win. Sometimes targeting whoever is giving your team the most problems or carrying the other team the hardest is the better route to take, and usually will lead to you winning more games. After we can correctly assess who the threats are on the other team, we then have to figure out who is actually killable based on their team comp. Using Strange as an example again, we can't kill Strange if we don't have another Strange blocking out healing or a Groot walling him off, or at least we can't do it very easily. So at that point, we would want to shift our view. The easiest way to take a Strange out of the game would be to attack his backline. If he's frontlining, attacking that backline allows our team to shoot him. While the backline is fighting you, he will receive no healing, leading to him ultimately dying. Now, depending on your role, this can look a lot different, but we have to figure out the best way to get rid of the biggest threats. Whether that's shooting at them directly, taking out healers, or isolating them from the game. Then we can recreate the list based on these aspects and decide who we should attack first. For example, if I'm playing Magic and I want to dive at their backline, I'm going to want to target the Namor first, especially if he's the one doing very well on their team. Then, after the Namor is taken out of the game, I can then target the healers, the other DPS, and then target the tanks. Now, the last part of target priority doesn't actually have to do with the priority list. It's just going to be counterpicking. If they have a killer Spider-Man and you can't kill him on the character you're on, maybe it's time to make that switch to Namor. If they have some killer tanks that are destroying your team, maybe it's time to switch to Wolverine. Every player on the team is not going to be insane. So identify who that insane player is and do whatever it takes to get them out the game. A team is only as good as their best player, and once he's gone, it's pretty much barbecue chicken from there. So remember, always look at the bigger picture of why you're losing. It's not always because the healers aren't dying, it's not always because they have more support ults than you. Sometimes it's just that one DPS who's better than you, and if you play as a unit, you can get rid of him and ultimately win your game. If you would like more strategy guides like this, I have one up on the screen, and I also stream on TikTok and Twitch, and the links will be down below. On those platforms, I'll be reviewing players' games and replays for completely free, so check it out, and thank you guys, and I'll see you later.